Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
Hello.
Hello. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
You know what? I have some Leafs-related news, but I kind of wanted to spend the majority of this episode dedicated to talking about Olympic rosters because so many countries announced their first six. There is a list. Hold on. Elliot Friedman tweeted out a list. I just have to scroll through and find the list of countries who are supposed to release them all today and have, because he tweeted them out and then I forgot. So yeah. Canada, Czechia, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Latvia, Slovakia, Sweden, and Switzerland, and the USA. So those are the 12 countries that are qualified, obviously for the tournament. They've revealed at various points today their first 6 players on the preliminary rosters for the Olympics that are in February in Milan is where the hockey is getting played because it's like Milan Cortina in Italy.
Fun.
Very fun. The only one that I think we're waiting on still is Slovakia.
Interesting.
I think. Or no, actually, no, sorry. They've all been announced now. I don't know why did they. And now I do remember Slovakia was announced. So I am going to. I don't know which country should I start with. You know what? I'm going to do them in the order that they were announced, today.
Okay. Right, okay. I would also I don't know anything that's happened today because I have quite literally been in a cave.
The reason why I'm wording this really weird is because Mar actually does not know these these 6 players on each of these rosters that have been named because Mar has not checked her phone all day.
It's been brilliant, but also now
does not know. So they because the announcement started, I was awake for work and these were coming in, and I woke up this morning at 4:30. So that's kind of where it's been coming. But I'm gonna start with Latvia because they were first. This was the first one, so I'm gonna give it to Latvia. Latvia named Elvis Merzlinkis, Uvis Belinskis, Rodrigo Abel. Sorry, the names are sideways on this graphic. If you saw the graphic that I'm reading it off of, they're sideways. Okay, I'm having to tilt my head to read these. Artur Silvos, Teddy Blugers, and Zemgus Girgensson.
I was so hoping you were gonna say Zemgus. I was waiting. I was please.
Big fan of Zemgus Girgensson.
Oh, that's my phone.
But yes, that is Latvia. No, I feel like there's no shock there. Those are their 4 notable NHL. 4? No, 3 notable NHLers and 4 notable NHLers. Sorry, and then the 2 guys who are always at Worlds, who I'm like, oh yeah, these guys are really good.
Oh, Zemgus. I'm so.
I love how you're not even happy about anyone else. The fact that Latvia named 2 goalies, you're just no, Zemgus Girgensson is there.
But Zemgus Girgensson.
Next up, hopefully this goes a little bit smoother as I get used to reading sideways on my laptop screen. Also, maybe the names become a little bit more familiar as we get through here. But for Team Finland, they're next. Mikko Rantanen, Sebastian Aho, Alexander Barkov, UC Saros, Miro Heiskanen, and is it Esa Lindell or Essa Lindell? Lindell from the Florida Panthers. Mars frozen. There's no.
I am not shocked by any of that.
No, none of that is shocking information whatsoever. I feel like, it's really funny because for and we'll get to it when we start looking at more rosters, like for the 4 countries that were in 4 nations, you're looking at this and you're like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Finland. Next is Sweden. William Nylander, Adrian Kempe, Victor Hedman, Lucas Raymond, Rasmus Dahlin, and this is the one where I was shocked, Gabriel Landeskog.
Oh.
Yes. And not because, and the reason why I'm shocked, and maybe you're also shocked for the exact same reason, because I've seen everyone who has made a comment on Sweden, like 6 that they've named, is shocked for the same reason. I'm not shocked that Gabriel Landeskog is on Team Sweden's roster, like that they're sending him to the Olympics. I'm shocked that you're naming him now as one of the first 6.
Wow.
Right? Like, you know what I mean, though? Because if it was like November, December, and they name the rest of the roster, whatever, or they name it in early January, wherever, whenever the rosters get named, which I probably will be around early January, maybe in around Christmas. If he's named then, no one's shocked. Everyone's like, yeah, Gabriel Landeskog should be on this roster. But it's just the fact that he's getting named like now as one of the first 6, when really all he has under his belt is what, 6, 7 NHL games?
Yeah, it's
under his belt in the past 2 years.
So long.
He was back for the playoffs and that was it.
Yeah.
But not even, he made his, like, he played like what, 3 games? 4 games?
Yeah, it was like,
because he came halfway through the series.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's the one where I'm like, not, because you know what I mean? Because it's one of those things where it's like, I saw that and I was like, don't love it, but it's not that I don't love it because I don't think he should be on the roster. It's a don't love it because you are committing to him now. It's very awkward to walk back naming a guy to a roster because he sucks. It's different if he ends up being hurt, but if the season starts and Gabriel Landeskog absolutely flounders in the first half of the season, and you're like, oh, we cannot take this guy to the Olympics.
It's like, well, you have to know. You can't take that. You can't.
I don't know. It's like, and it's also one of those things where it's like, there's other players that you could have named. Leo Carlson would have been, one that I would have named. He went to 4 Nations. He was at Worlds.
That is such a choice. Like, don't doubt that he can do it, but also we still.
Philip Forsberg. Philip Forsberg. Yeah. Elias Pettersson. Like.
Wow.
Joel Eriksson Ek, even, I'd argue. Yeah. Take your pick of a goaltender.
All of them.
So, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Now the goaltending for Sweden is interesting. It is interesting that they did not name a goaltender. That's something to note, considering the way it kind of was it was a little bit messy when they were announcing their goaltending for Worlds this year, because the only goaltender from 4 Nations who they took was Samuel Ersson, when like Ullmark and Gustafsson were like available. Yeah. They were both eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. They were available, and Sweden opted not to take them, and only took Ersson. As now the Flyers weren't in the playoffs. But out of the 3 that they named, well, 4, because then there was also Markstrom. Didn't take Markstrom either. But you know what I mean? So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out if they give it to Ersson, because he went to 4 Nations. Now he was like the 4th pick for 4 Nations, but he went to 4 Nations and he went to Worlds, where it's like, are they going to see who has the better season? Because Ullmark had a slow start to a season and then had a crazy end of his season.
Yeah.
Gustafsson was really good for Minnesota. Like,
Gustafsson
got Vesna votes.
Yeah, you've got plenty of options.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Hmm. But yeah,
Interesting.
it's interesting. Like, yeah, there's a lot of players. Anyways, that was just one that I noticed. That I was like, it was
Mm.
interesting that they named Landeskog, and I understand too. Like, odds are, I'd put money down on Landeskog being the captain for Sweden.
Yeah, I feel like if they're gonna name him now, then there's a reason why, and it's because they're going go big or go home is what I usually say. But in this case, it was not necessary. You could have gone small and still been
You could,
fine.
I think, if they named Leo Carlson, I don't think anyone would be mad about it.
No, I'd be thrilled.
Love Leo Carlson.
Big
Someone should
fans.
free him from Anaheim.
Please. Has he not suffered enough?
But yeah, it's like one of those things too. It's like, okay, so you're gonna make Gabriel Landeskog captain. I feel like that's the natural procession, despite Hedman being captain at Four Nations.
Mm. Like it just feels very like I don't want to say all over the place, but you know what I mean when I say that, where it's like,
It's interesting.
yeah,
It seems
it's interesting.
it's interesting because there's not a lot of sense to it in the way of like how
Hmm.
Sweden usually goes about their
Yeah.
things. But William
Hmm.
Nylander is there.
Yeah.
Toronto Maple Leafs, William Nylander, which, wow, shocker, fourth founding kitchen, William Nylander on Team Sweden. Oh, oh, whoa, no
Whoa.
way.
Who'd have seen that coming? Not me.
Crazy. But yeah, next after Sweden, let me scroll up, is the host Italy, who I think is not to rub salt in the wound, below Great Britain in the IIHF standings, but because of the host, they get in.
Yeah. Thanks, Emma.
They do have um a British Italian guy.
Yeah. Represent me
Lucas and
people.
Anna. Sorry. The first six that they named, which if you know any of these names, I will be impressed. Lucas and Anna, Thomas Larkin, Diego Costner. Sorry, I'm reading sideways. I don't know these names. Daniel Mantenuto, Damien Clara, and Tommy Perdeller.
Which one's the half Brit?
Thomas Larkin. He plays in the German league
Uh,
currently. Sorry, no EIHL legends over here.
damn. That's rough. They wish. They wish.
Now, if Great Britain was here,
Yeah. I would have known people. One day.
I like want to try and provide like analysis on this, but honestly,
We
I
can't
will say
provide
Damien
much.
Clara is goaltender. It's just hard to tell because the picture that they chose in this IIHF graphic is him in a baseball cap, and he looks 12.
Imagine, what if he is 12?
No,
Imagine
he
they
no, he's
just rock up
not.
and they're just
He's
like this
like
little
20.
12-year-old.
He's 20.
That'd be so funny though. It's like you're on
And he
the
is
ice.
drafted by the Ducks. He's drafted by the Ducks.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Still 12. Still 12.
Then Czechia. This is about to be no shocker to anyone who's watched Worlds in the past 2 years. David Pasternak, Martin Necas, Pavel Zacha, Radko Gudas, Lucas Tostal, and Andre Palat. Wow, shocker. No way.
Oh my
That
god.
was crazy. All 6 of those guys were on the roster at Worlds 2 years ago, a year ago, when they won gold. I guess a year ago then.
Mm,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
When Czechia very notably won gold with David Camp. on the
Dave.
roster.
Big
That's my world
Dave.
champion, David Camp.
Big Dev, my guy.
Do they put David Camp on Czechia's roster?
Yes.
I want to know.
Absolutely.
David Camp to the Olympics goes crazy.
Bring in the big guns, and the big guns are David Camp.
Yeah, he's jacked. Have you seen him?
Yeah. He's
Flipping that.
He's got nothing on me. Look at these bad boys. I'm having to cover them up just so you don't get dazzled.
And clip that.
This is what happens when I run on 2 hours.
Next, we have Switzerland with Roman Josi, Nico Hischier, Jonas Siegenthaler, Timo Meyer, Kevin Fiala, and Nito Niederreiter.
Yeah.
Beautiful team.
Incredible team. Beautiful. Visually. Wonderful team.
What a team.
It's visually a very strong team.
Yeah. It's really funny because they did use a fire emoji in the tweet, like the IIHF did. Like, yes, very true. Roman Josi is there. And so is Kevin Fiala.
Yes. A win.
But yeah, again, also no shocks. Like, I feel like some of these I'm like, yeah, okay, makes sense. Who is a Swiss goaltender? Swiss goalies NHL. Because I don't want the soccer goals. Oh, Schmid. No, but he's Akira Schmid. He is the only active one. So it's going to be Akira Schmid and like
me.
It's good, and like guys from like probably within the Swiss league, which is totally fine and cool and really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Germany.
forward to finding more blobbers.
Germany. Big up Germany with sorry. It's the pictures that they use are really funny. It's like World Juniors Leon Draisaitl.
Oh yeah.
So he looks like 12.
Oh,
but yeah. Germany,
I love when they do that.
Leon Draisaitl, Tim Stützle, Moritz Seider, Philipp Grubauer, Nico Sturm, and Lucas Reichel. Which
Whoa.
Well, some people are shocked that it was not like JJ Peterka's not in here. But like, have you considered that wait, is Nico Sturm a forward? No, he's a defenseman. Have you hold on. Oh. No, wait, no. Nico Sturm is a forward. Have you considered that they put out a full forward starting lineup? And JJ Peterka is not a defenseman like Lucas Reichel is. Have you considered that they did this? And I actually applaud Germany for this. They put out a full starting six.
Variety.
Yeah, which I will say, I am very excited about Germany. Taken out of context, put in some context, that's a very weird sentence for me to say. I'm very excited about them because I think like anyone who hears me talk about the Ottawa Senators or reads any of my recaps on the Ottawa Senators would know that I think I've been pretty consistently saying they need to find Tim Stützle, someone who can actually like finish his scoring chances, like his plays and stuff. Leon Draisaitl can do that. And I'm really excited for what Tim Stützle turns into when you put him next to Leon Draisaitl.
Oh, yeah.
Because I believe in sicko hockey matchups. and that is a sicko hockey matchup.
Yes.
Like I want to see that. I'm curious. I think they're gonna it's gonna go really well. They've never played on the same team before, so I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested. I am high on Germany in that regard because they do have some very talented hockey players.
Yes.
And also, like, the German league is very big and also has a lot of talented hockey players. Next is Slovakia, which it's got Martin Baravari, Juraj Slabkovsky, Thomas Tatar, Eric Chernak, is it Simon Nemec? Yeah, and Martin Popsil. Wow, shocker. Sorry, it's like we've hit a point with some of these rosters where I'm like, this is the list.
Fork found in kitchen.
Some of these are kind of fork found in kitchen.
Like, not even fork found in kitchen. Fork found in drawer labeled forks found in kitchen. Like, no way.
You know, I'm just surprised they didn't name Phil Nyes to the roster.
They just don't get him like we do. They don't.
No. Much love to Phil
Nyes.
He is not good enough to.
You're right. He's too good. He's better than everyone else.
Sure. Okay. Moving on up, we've got Denmark, which I did joke is just Freddie Anderson 6 times, but that's not true.
I mean, I wouldn't complain.
I know you wouldn't complain.
What's that supposed to mean?
But we've got Nikolai Ehlers, Freddie Anderson, Lars Eller, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Jonas Romberg, and Jesper Jensen Abo. Sorry, I had to look sideways. And look, I'm gonna send you a graphic after this, and you're gonna understand why I'm struggling so hard. I could have said it. I could have done this a different way, and I could have actually typed up the names or looked up an actual list. But no, I'm choosing to do it this way, where I have to look sideways, and the first name is really small. So apologies that I don't know the first names of some of these players. So I'm having to tilt my head way sideways. But yes, and then also France, Alexandre Texier, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and this is where the French accent comes out. Johan Ovitu? It's got to be Ovitu. Hugo Galette and Jules. There's an S, a C, and a Q altogether. Busk. I'm going to run with Busk.
Sorry, it's so funny watching you tilt. I've been tilting along with you.
But yeah, France. And then we're getting the final two. You know what? I'm gonna start with Team USA. I'm gonna go out of order here because Team USA, as much as I've said some of these are very fork found in kitchen, Team USA is the least shocking 6 you could have put forward. I saw this and I went, yes, okay.
Hit me.
Matthew Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, Brady Tkachuk, Quinn Hughes, and Charlie McAvoy.
Can we stop with Jack fucking Eichel?
Unfortunately, he weirdly was not was really high on a lot of voting tables for NHL awards this year.
Sure. Jack Eichel. Sure, why not? But yeah, that is the most fork found in kitchen I think we've had so far. Whoa. Yeah. I'm so surprised and shocked and baffled and gobsmacked I never saw any of this coming.
Like, I think the only shocking thing is that there was no goalies named.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Joseph Wolf.
Anthony Stolarz.
Run
Run the tandem.
it!
They got Anthony Stolarz did get Vezina votes.
I mean, like, that is 1A. Like, great goalie tandem. B, very, very sexy goalie tandem. So they can dazzle people with their skill and beauty. Bosh, they win.
We got a Bosh on the podcast, everyone.
Bosh.
We've got a Bosh. We've got a Bosh.
Sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm. We've got a. But also as well, it's just interesting because like Connor Hellebuyck quite literally just won the Vezina and the Hart like last episode on Thursday. Yeah. We talked about him winning the Vezina. It turns out he also won the Hart. No, we talked about him winning. We talked about him winning one. Turns out he also won the other. And then they put out a video, and Eric Comrie was there.
Yay!
But it's just only interesting because I don't know if they haven't named the goalies because they're like, well, it's so obvious who we're going to take that we're going to take Connor Hellebuyck, Jake Ottinger, and Jeremy Swayman, or if it's more of like, so why would we waste one of the 6 spots on very obvious goalie picks? Or if it's like, we're going to see how this season plays out and see how Thatcher Demko does.
Yeah.
But also it's Connor Hellebuyck.
Yeah, like.
Sorry, I just, in my head, I don't know why in my head I'm going like, oh, instead of naming Brady, you name Connor Hellebuyck. And it still would have been, oh, wow, shocker, Fork Founding Kitchen, no way. It's just now with Brady, it's also still, oh, wow, Fork Founding Kitchen, no way.
Yeah.
Crazy. No way. Anyways, Canada.
Again, hit me.
The big stage here. Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Sam Reinhart, Braden Point, and Cale Makar. I see your face doing the same confusion face that mine did over the last 3. Specifically, probably Cale Makar.
Yeah.
So that is the reaction that I think everyone had when everyone went, hey, wait a minute. I thought Cale Makar couldn't go because as we've discussed probably many times on this podcast at this point now, especially when we were talking about 4 Nation rosters, I think it came up so many times.
Yeah.
Because Cale Makar was on that 2018 Team Canada World Juniors team, and they put the ban for the entire roster of not being able to participate in IIHF sanctioned events, which 4 Nations notably was not IIHF sanctioned. That's why he could be at 4 Nations. 4 Nations was solely through the NHL. It was like an all-star game, but they just had it be worth more. It was an actual full game. It was a week and a bit, and it was split up by countries, not divisions. Wow. Ooh. That's what 4 Nations was. It was all through the NHL, ran that, not at all through IIHF. That's why the reffing was all in it. Anyways, that's why Cale Makar could be at 4 Nations. And then everyone was like, well, we can't get too used to Cale Makar because we're not going to get Cale Makar at the Olympics because Team Canada's banned. And so then I've spent the entire afternoon trying to look for an answer as to why he could be named to this roster. And my whole thing is, it's almost like Team Canada is operating under the assumption that once because we've talked about last episode, the final decision made by the judge in terms of the ruling of the case is going to come on July 24th. So Team Canada's Hockey Canada or Team Canada it's Jim Montgomery and like his team that includes like Julian Brisebois and a bunch of other guys are all working under the assumption that come July 24th, when that verdict is reached by the judge, that then the ban on at least those who are not the 5 currently charged. So that includes Cale Makar, will be lifted because it's until the end of. There's specific wording here that I need to now look up. That someone I'm having to look this up now. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, until the investigation and adjunctive process of the alleged sexual assault has been completed. But which makes the wording kind of strange. Because you could argue, okay, well, the trial portion is done, just a verdict hasn't been reached. So therefore you can name him, or they're naming him in advance.
Interesting.
But then people have argued, oh, well, like, it's just a lot of confusion, and I would have liked some clarity at least.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Cale Makar is getting named to the roster. I don't care if he goes or if he doesn't go. I just don't appreciate the confusion that we're now having with this.
The lack of clarity.
Yeah.
Like, just like it's very easy to just give like a black and white answer, like just yes, like when lay it out so that no one gets like confused by this or like.
Yeah. But then also as well, it's like you could have like, okay, yes, maybe you wanted to name him now because whatever, because he's Cale Makar. But like if you had waited, again, it falls back into the Gabriel Landeskog thing. You could have named literally anybody else besides Cale Makar. I don't know. Josh Morrissey, if you wanted to name another defenseman. Easy. Yeah. Josh Morrissey is a good defenseman. But you could name another defenseman or another forward. I don't know. You can name any number of forwards as well. Mitch Marner, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
It's you can name, we're going to get to that too, but you can name them.
Yeah.
And then just wait until the next wave of roster announcements that get done.
Like
and name Cale Makar. And so far after the trial that then people are like, oh, well, then it's absolutely done. Like, and that process is done. And then even then, Hockey Canada can then, or the Hockey Canada can then release a statement that goes, well, here we go. We've lifted the ban on the players except for the 5, to participate. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's a statement.
Yeah,
and
it's very much like I don't care if he's
there
or not.
There's no rush.
Yeah, it feels really shitty to name him like now of
it's
all
not like
time.
Cale Makar's not going to be doing anything else.
Yeah, it just
because what if the ban doesn't get lifted? You know what I mean? Like, what if something happens and then you have to be the organization that has to walk that back, and the PR nightmare that will be to be like, so I know we named Cale Makar as one of the 6 back in June. It is now. Wow. Back in June. And there was this whole discussion on if he could actually be named to the roster yet, if he could actually play, if he could actually be selected, yada, yada, yada. And then, well, now, and then we were like, but it's fine. We'll name him anyway. Named him. Now he is no longer on the roster. Thomas Hartley, you're going instead. Again, I don't, right? But it's like Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore. I mean, we could go through that entire Four Nations roster probably and come up with a lot of guys who would have been, I guess they're not Cale Makar, who just won the Norris.
Yeah.
Right?
But still.
But they're still very good top tier defenseman in the NHL.
Because it's like he didn't need to be named right now.
No.
And I don't think he gives a flying fuck whether he's named now or later.
Especially if you're, you know, whatever, Montgomery on the phone with him going, hey, look, you're going to be on the roster, but this is why we just have to wait.
Yeah.
If you lay out that situation for him, I think it makes sense at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And of course, now we don't have the mindsets of NHL players. We don't have the mindsets of NHL players I don't want to say caught up, but attached. I think that's maybe
associated with.
That's the better word. Associated with, you know, a sexual assault allegation and investigation and criminal case.
Like, people aren't just going to ignore that.
People aren't just going to ignore that. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not affiliated with that. Like, you know what I, like, we are, essentially what I'm trying to boil down is we are not Cale Makar. So while we may, you know, get that, we may be put in that situation where that happens and we're, like, totally fine with it, maybe Cale Makar is slightly different than we are. In terms of, he is not a fan.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you tell him in advance, be like, yo, this is the situation. We're not going to name you now, but we're going to name you in, like, 4 months. You can still, like, get that. Is Cale Makar with Lululemon? Who's going to be the Lululemon model? Remember when John Tavares was the Lululemon model?
Yes.
For 2022? Because he had the deal with Lululemon?
Oh.
Maybe take Connor Bedard. Like, I know Connor Bedard isn't, like, you know, people, like, there's an argument of maybe you take Macklin Celebrity over Connor Bedard. Or you take neither of them, but maybe you take Connor Bedard just because he has the Lululemon partnership and you need someone to wear the Lululemon.
Please, play dress up with a child, I beg. You
need someone to be the Lululemon model. Which I realize requires explanation because I don't know how deeply pilled people are into the Olympics, but Team Canada's like uniform sponsor for the Olympics. Now it used to be Hudson's Bay, RIP. Not even just that they're not the Olympics, they actually went bankrupt this year. So true is an RIP.
Devastating.
But it's now Lululemon. And in 2022, John Tavares, this was back when NHLers like were gonna still go to the Olympics. John Tavares did like a photo shoot for them and like modeled that year's Olympic uniform. And those pictures are incredible. It's fantastic.
They're true. Oh, they are something else.
And he got chirped to shit. The other Leafs over these pictures. They're incredible. And now I'm like, okay, who's going to be the Lululemon model? And I'm trying to remember which NHL players like have Lulu. Because it can't be Connor McDavid. Wait, Connor McDavid has an Aloe sponsorship. How is that going to work? Can Connor McDavid post anything from the Olympics and him in Lululemon gear, or will that go against his Aloe sponsorship?
This is real journalism.
No one has posted this question yet. No one has asked.
Think it's something that needs to be asked.
Has anyone considered if like Connor McDavid can be seen in like the Lululemon gear for the Olympics because of his Aloe sponsorship? Because he can't do the modeling for it. Does Sidney Crosby want to model Lululemon?
I don't care if he wants to. We want him to. The people want him to.
I don't have my phone with me. Hold on. If I go Lululemon NHL. Remember when they like put out that line? I'm trying to remember who was like in this because it's Mark Stone. They named Mark Stone to the roster and it's Mark Stone. Mark Stone has to go out. They, for some reason, bring back Mark Stone because he was on the Four Nations roster. they announce Mark Stone, and then Mark Stone has to be the model for the Lululemon gear because he is the guy on the roster who has the Lululemon partnership. Because the only Canadians who were part of that campaign when they did the like Lululemon like NHL collab is Connor Bedard, John Tavares, Morgan Geekie. Much love to Morgan Geekie. Is not going
My guy will not be
on the Olympic roster. And Mark Stone.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
But yeah. But like there's gotta be like other players who have this like, you know what I mean? There's gotta be other players who have the like who have a partnership with Lululemon.
Yeah.
It can't just be Connor Bedard.
This is child labor.
Child labor, and it's Connor Bedard modeling Lululemon.
Oh, I can already picture there's like the
because it's gonna be
emotion on his face.
I don't know how familiar you are with like the previous iterations of like Lululemon's like Canadian like Olympic team gear. There's always some ghastly like loud pattern.
I'm so excited.
You know what I mean? Like there's always like a full tracksuit of the most just aggressive pattern you could ever put in red and white.
I can't wait.
Like, I don't know if you saw the Summer Olympic. We watched some of the Olympics together.
Yeah.
The red and white pattern tracksuit.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And it's just the most aggressive. It's the most aggressive pattern. I stay here sitting in I'm wearing a very aggressively patterned fleece right now.
Yeah, but yours slays. That's the difference.
I am sitting here in a very aggressively patterned fleece right now, but
it's a wonderful fleece.
It's a great fleece. I bought it on sale.
Ooh, look at you.
That's why I buy all my fleeces. It's on sale. So it's how I end up with fun patterns like this.
Yeah, it's very snazzy.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. You know, I am very excited. I love the concept of NHLers going back to the Olympics because of this way that the schedule works. Usually for the Olympics, the hockey tournaments take up like the entire 2 weeks. And even beforehand, like a little bit, like they are there the whole time. So they will be there at the opening and the closing ceremonies, which will be very fun. Yes. Sidney Crosby flag bearer, go crazy concept idea. He has not done it.
That doesn't mean he won't. Because he will. That doesn't mean
he won't. I would love that. I think that would be iconic.
Again, for the people.
For the people. But it's not even like he didn't do it. I'm trying to think of who it was in Beijing. Who had a really good Olympics that year? Because all I remember from Beijing is Mark McMorris. But that's just more me than anything else, than like notability.
Yeah. That's just you being you.
That's just me being me. I'm trying to think now. I probably could look it up. I could look up 2022 Canadian Olympic flag bearer. Oh, it was Marie-Philippe Poulin and Charles Hamlin. Eva. There's a list of it's a Wikipedia list.
Oh, you love a good Wikipedia list.
Incredible.
This is like Christmas for you.
Yeah, for the opening ceremonies, it was Marie-Philippe Poulin and Charles Hamlin. So you could even do Sidney Crosby you could even do Sidney Crosby. Because Haley Wickenheiser did it in 2014.
Sydney.
And then for the closing ceremonies, it was Isabel Weidman, speed skater. She did really well.
Speedy.
Yeah. Has there ever been? No. But yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Olympics. I'm so excited. Prepare for like a very intense coverage of the Olympics. And it won't just it'll be one of those things where like I don't know how much like actual what happened?
I'm sure my friend's just broken up with a boyfriend.
Oh.
And I've like just got the message. Oh dear me. Anyways, sorry. Please continue. Oh boy. It's all good. You don't know her.
Okay. But yeah. Sorry. Oh yes, Mikhail Kingsbury, ageless wonder, because that man is like 32 and keeps winning mogul medals. But yes, Mark McBoris, James Crawford, love those guys. Curling, like I'm so excited for the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I love the Olympics, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Fun. I'm so excited. I'm so
looking
excited.
forward to it.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to see Zemgus. Bestie Zemgus. Bestie Zemgus.
You know, I didn't even address the other two off of that roster. I spent so much time talking to Kel McCarr and then just started talking about the Olympics. I got distracted by like Connor McDavid Lululemon question. The Connor McDavid Lululemon debate. But what I also wanted to raise was Sam Reinhart after how he went at Four Nations. Like I'm not saying Sam Reinhart is a bad hockey player. Sam Reinhart at Four Nations was disappointing. He didn't fit well. No. And like they couldn't find a line. Like they tried him on, you know what I mean? They kept kind of shuffling him around. There's different ways at it and it just didn't work. I don't know if it was the system that was running doesn't quite play to his strengths. I don't know if it was like the line mates, if there's some magic combination out there that he could play with, but like it just wasn't working. And maybe it was just he wasn't feeling comfortable, he wasn't feeling himself, whatever. But like I know he's good. I'm not saying he's not good. I just also I'm like, really?
Recent performance.
I just at Four Nations, right? Like that is kind of the benchmark, at least as a starting off point of where to base your roster. Now, I'm not saying you invite Sam Bennett back because IIHF rules, he will go in for his first hit along the boards and will get suspended for the rest of the tournament. But because he took someone's head off, but like, I don't know. And Braden Point. Braden Point's really good. One of your top 6 good. I'm just saying there's no Mitch Marner there. That's all. And Mitch Marner did not have a bad Four Nations.
No. And also Mitch Marner. You need Joy and Whimsy.
Set up the game-winning goal in twice. Yeah. Well, he scored the first. He scored the first game. He scored the OT winner against Sweden. Set up Connor McDavid for the OT winner against the USA in the final. He did great Four Nations tournament. And if that's kind of what, like, you know what I mean? Like, if that's the basic, why don't you call, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm surprised you're not naming Mitch Marner. Especially he was one of the first ones named for the Four Nations roster, if I remember correctly. Like one of the
it's just
first like
odd.
4.
It's just odd. Like, where is Mitch?
Yeah. But I do understand the lack of goaltending for Team Canada. There is questions. There are so many questions. I'm so afraid it's going to be Jordan Binnington again.
Please, no.
I need Carter George to get good quick, because I don't think I can do another Olympic cycle of Jordan Binnington. I need Carter George to lock in so hard.
Lock in.
But you have, like, it's one of those things too where it's like Darcy Kemper, Vezina votes. Logan Thompson, Vezina votes. Sam Montembeault also got Vezina votes. There's 3 goalies. There's also your Quebecois representation. There's your guy from the Habs who's Quebecois, so people don't get mad.
Exactly.
Wow, look how easy that is. I'm so good at this game. I could be Kyle
You should be in
Dubas.
charge.
I could be in charge.
You should be in charge. You know what's up. You smash it, and then you'd bring me on as like your little like shoulder gremlin who just sits there and like whispers blobbers into your ear. Like, pick them.
Take Stephen Lorenz.
Take Stevie. You know you want to pick Stevie.
Take Stevie. I could build a roster. It's not that hard. It's me and my like list of Canadian active NHL players, like tab against the world.
Honestly. Oh. Next time. It'll be you next time. Trust.
We
will
2020, 2020, 2030. I think that one's in France.
Bonjour. You will.
Yeah, we'll be in the French. It'll be in France. It'll be in the French Alps, which means we will have to put up with France again.
I think I burned my back.
Ha! I said before we started recording.
Look, okay,
are you sure you didn't get sunburned?
The parts of me that had sun cream on didn't get burned.
No, I just got tan. And what happened? You got burnt.
Okay, but in all fairness, I think I forgot to put sun cream on my back.
That's a you mistake.
Yeah, it's because my hair was in like a ponytail at first, so it didn't matter. But then I put it in a bun because it got warm. Oh fuck, that hurts. So I realized because I've just shuffled and now I'm just like in pain. I'm gonna have to sit up now. I can't even lie down. How am I gonna sleep? Oh. I'm about to be miserable.
Yeah, you are. It's gonna start peeling, isn't it? Anyways, 2030 Olympics in the French Alps. That's gonna be so fun. Maybe
it's meant for you. You'll love it.
Maybe I go. I've never been to the Olympics. I would love to go. That's a bucket list thing for me. Is not like compete in the Olympics because I'm not good enough at any sport for that.
Yeah, believe in yourself, Emma.
But like, I'd love to go to the Olympics.
Cool.
Yeah, but those are the Olympic rosters. I hope you loved Mars' live reaction to like that.
Yeah, no, I hope the people have been enjoying my live reactions recently because I am slowly becoming chronically offline. And I'm enjoying getting my live reactions. I hope you're enjoying getting my live reactions, and I hope everyone else is enjoying getting my live reactions. Because, as we all know, I am very, very bad at hiding how I feel. So, yeah.
But yes, the Olympics. I'm so excited. The Olympics will be in February. I'm really excited to talk about them. I'm really excited to watch them. And it's going to be a nice 2-week break from the NHL for us. I say that as if I'm not going to like be up at 4 a.m. stressing out over like biathlon or something. Or like, I don't know. I tried to think of like the most niche, obscure, like random sport for someone to care about. But the Winter Olympics is hard because it's like, yeah, no, duh, Emma, you will be up at 4 a.m. stressing out over alpine skiing.
Like, no shit, of course.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
You.
I will be up that early watching that. My sleep schedule will totally shift, and I will just be like living off of Italy time.
I mean, it makes a change it being you having the weird start times than me.
Yeah, usually like I'm up before you are right now.
Yeah. It depends. Not every day.
Not every day.
Many days.
Some days we're up at the same time.
Yeah, it's so cute. Halfway across the world, but we still wake up at the same time. And they say romance is dead.
So the PWHL free agency is today. There's no finalized deals as of right now. At least I don't think so. If there is, I'm going to be very interested to see. But I don't. I don't see anything at all. So, anyways, I don't see anything. People sending me stuff being like, "Hey, this happened." So it's a lot of rumors right now, currently, I believe.
Fun. Terrifying, but fun.
Oh, what? Sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors. Ian Kennedy is tweeting stuff, and I don't know if it's true or not. All I'm gonna say, it looks so bad for Ottawa.
Oh,
they're tearing apart my family, the Ottawa Charge.
No.
But yeah, currently some of the rumors involve Hannah Miller and Teresa Vanasova to Vancouver. I think Haley Skamura is staying in Toronto. So is Jesse Compher. But none of those have been made team official yet. Apparently, there's a big backlog going on at the PWHL to get these contracts like sent in. So I think, when we do Thursday's show, we will have a big list of free agent signings and re-signings and extensions, things like that, for us to run through and discuss a little bit more in detail, which kind of works out for the fact that we spent so long talking about the Olympics. Yeah, in Leafs news, I think we can slide into our Leafs news here. Radio play-by-play announcer and long-time play-by-play announcer for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Joe Bowen, has announced that he will retire at the end of the 25-26 season after 44 years behind the mic covering the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, first of all, incredible. He's been doing this for 44 years and has never once seen the Toronto Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup.
That's rough.
But also, that is a longtime voice of the Leafs, a very iconic voice of the Leafs. Like, there are some incredible calls. I think, like, there are calls that are, I'm gonna probably say one of his more recent ones, but his called the John Tavares overtime winner against Tampa for Game 6.
Stop! I chills thinking
Back
about it.
Tavares back in the corner for Knives. Like,
Stop it, Emma. Stop it.
Obviously, everyone also knows him for Holy Macna. Just an incredible, by all accounts, an incredible guy from what I've heard. Also, as well, just an incredible voice, an incredible career. So, congratulations to him.
Mm-hmm.
One more go, one more kick at the can for him. But yes, he announced that he will be retiring at the end of this year. Also, as well, John Tavares, little tax update. Tax court has paused the CRA case against John Tavares indefinitely. So maybe he's won. He's John Tavares tax evader successful.
Slut.
But apparently it is.
Yeah,
it was adjourned after his team won their motion in court and was trying to set a trial date. It's not a win in the sense of judgment of his appeal. The case is paused until a trial date is set, which is John Tavares' lawyers are trying to establish. This is all via David Alter for the Hockey News. And then it is a lot of information about about taxes and stuff. But yes.
Crazy. It's wild. I always love the occasional John Tavares tax evasion updates. It really
I love it. I'm like a
little treat.
It's like, oh yeah, remember John Tavares tax evasion?
It's like, oh, remember when that happened?
Yeah. Also as well, some other news. This is kind of via Kyle Cushman, but also as well, Leafs prospect Roni Hirvonen is returning to Finland on a 1-year contract. He is an RFA, so Toronto will retain his rights if they choose to qualify him this summer. This season, he's kind of had a rough first season with the Toronto Marlies in the AHL. Suffered a concussion and a career-threatening eye injury this season, and also dealt with the death of his father in his first season with the Marlies. And then rebounded a bit last year, but didn't take a big significant step in his play. Hopefully, time back home in Finland will maybe bounce back his game a little bit. But yes, so he is returning to Finland on 1 season, but if his rights are qualified, that if he is qualified and offered by the Toronto Maple Leafs, they will retain onto his rights. CHL schedules were also announced today for the entire league in the CHL. There's never really highlights. There's like 61 teams worth of game schedules. I'm not going to go over and find the highlights, but if you are a fan of a CHL team or if you want to try and go see a CHL team, schedules are official, so you can go figure that out. Try and schedule some things. I don't know if you live in live close to an OHL city and you want to see the London Knights come and potentially decimate your team. Now's the time to figure out when they're going to be in town.
Yeah.
I had the experience of watching the London Knights decimate my local OHL team. Then
everyone's experienced it once.
Everyone experiences it once where you're like, ooh, is the score really 9-1 halfway through the second?
London Knights versus Manchester Storm.
The Memmer winning London Knights, or next season London Knights where they lose a bunch of guys because a bunch of guys on their Memmer winning roster are aging out, or Sam Dickinson are probably going to make it the San Jose Sharks.
I mean, I think either way we'd still lose, but it'd be entertaining. It'd be fun to see the winning team That'd be cool. Yeah. Split. I feel like I had something else to say and it's just like completely vanished.
Yeah. But yeah, Stanley Cup final. Florida has a 3-2 lead in the series. Game 6 is tomorrow night in Florida. Edmonton had a Game 4 3-goal comeback with a Leon Draisaitl OT winner in Game 4. To be honest, I had work at 5 a.m. the next day for that one, so I went to bed before the end of the first period.
Very real.
Apologies to those who wanted me to watch the game more in depth. I was not staying up for that. I'm sorry.
No.
I had work at 5. So, but Game 5 was a blowout. Well, blowout. It's a 3-goal loss. But Game 5, Florida won 5-2. My notes on that one is that just Florida has been really good depending on the game. Like in the game where they won 6-1 and in this one, very good at getting behind Edmonton's defense to produce scoring chances, which is what they did against Toronto, and it's what they do very well, and it's how they play, and it makes them very effective. You know, they have a very strong heavy forecheck, and once they kind of can get around your defenseman, it's very easy for them to then produce scoring chances, or it's like once they get, because then it also allows them to get the spin cycle going. And once you're caught in a Florida Panthers cycle through their like Florida's defensive zone, like through your own defensive zone, and even if it's 5-on-5 and you just get caught in that, you're screwed.
Look. Yeah. I just need Oilers lock
please.
in.
Oilers, dig in.
Yeah, Oilers, dig in. Have you thought about doing that maybe?
Edmonton still has like questions about goaltending. Not even questions. It's just like they Chris Knoblauch has not said who's starting Game 6, and like I don't know who you go with. Okay, I don't know who you go with, to be honest, because like I just dropped my pen.
Yeah.
Because like if Stuart Skinner's on it, Stuart Skinner's good, but if he's not on it, then you're putting in Calvin Pickard. But like also, it's such like a what do you do when you have 2 backup goalies? I don't know. But yes. Also as well, Game 4, and this like news dropped literally moments after we finished recording. It was minutes after. It was that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were in the building in Florida for Game 4.
Huge news. It was such huge news that when I went downstairs to make myself a cup of tea, my housemate, who has never seen a single game of hockey in her life, goes, "Oh, Taylor Swift was at the hockey game tonight." And I was like, "Sorry, what?"
It's the worst thing ever, because it's like, okay, it's the best and the worst thing ever at the same time, because like Taylor Swift hockey crossover has been happening since like Fearless era. Remember that one Nashville Predators commercial she did?
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah.
It's been happening forever. But also like because it's like Stanley Cup final, it's these 2 teams. Like all these Swifties are now like paying attention because they're like, oh, Taylor Swift is at like an NHL game. Maybe I should get. It's like one of those things where it was like, what was it? It was like the Regina George wore. What is the one like?
I don't know the one. I know what
something
you mean.
About flip flops. Where Regina George wore army pants and flip-flops. So I bought army pants and flip-flops. It's like Taylor Swift went to a hockey game. I'm gonna like, right? Except you're then creating like Florida Panthers and Edmonton Oilers fans, which is just the worst thing ever.
Like, again, have we not suffered enough? Like,
Have
we
you
don't need more of
considered?
them.
I was gonna say, have you considered leaving? I was like, no, don't make anyone choose that.
No.
Have we considered all becoming, I don't know, like LA Kings fans? The LA Kings are cool. I like the LA Kings. Do you not like the LA Kings?
No, and they've not even done anything. I just don't like them.
Wow. What about the Sharks? No. What's like a really unassuming team that like is just there?
Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, but that would require the Buffalo Sabres making the playoffs.
Yeah, good point.
Washington Capitals.
Introduce the Swifties to Dylan Strum. That'll go down really well. They will love him. They will eat that shit up.
Yeah. See, this is what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. Introduce Swifties to Dylan Strum. Like they love a good narrative. Dylan Strum. It's perfect. Yeah. Although I do think a bunch of Swifties becoming Sabres fans would genuinely like be the best thing to ever happen to me. Like that would just be so deeply hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. That would be funny. Yeah. Good. I'm saying slush so much at the moment. I don't know why. It just happens.
It's a great word. It's a great word. I'm like, I want to make sure I don't miss any news, but I don't think I am.
Yeah. We have Slade.
Yeah, we have. So I think we'll end this episode here. I don't know, unless you have something else to add. I don't.
No. If people are ever looking for cave recommendations in the Yorkshire Dales, please hit me up. That's my announcement for the day. This is what happens when I go outside. I become someone who has cave recommendations and low screen time.
I mean, could be worse.
I could be the Buffalo Sabres.
You could be the Buffalo Sabres.
That's what I should like next time I decide to like crash out. Fear not, at least I'm not the Sabres. Yeah. But you know, I don't think I have anything else to add.
Okay. Well, then we'll end this episode here. And we'll be back on Thursday.
Yes.
For another episode.
Yeah, we will.
I'm now realizing if the Stanley Cup ends tomorrow, what do we do for a week before the draft?
I can my letterboxed and caves.
All right. Sure.
That's all I've got.
All right. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with another episode. In the meantime, you can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth with the number 4. With the number 4, TH. So you never miss another episode. We are a show that's presented by Offside News. You can find Offside News on all social media platforms at Offside News Co. You can also read all of the draft coverage. There's a bunch of prospect profiles that are being released now leading up to the draft. I've written a couple, but those you can go read those and some other stuff over at offsidenewsco.com. If you miss the two of us between episodes because you think we're hilarious or you want more of our opinions on hockey or other things, including caves, you can go follow us on Twitter at 6sleeves for Marcie, at PWHL for myself. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back on Thursday. In the meantime, Bosh.
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 It's a brilliant word.
It's one of my favorite British, words.
Yeah. It's
Bosh. Incredible.
It is a firm favourite of mine.
So great.
I love a cheeky bish bash bosh. Bish bash bosh, incredible phrase.